Page 27, Goodbye, My Lover, Goodbye. An old American folk song, huh? This is in the key of A major. It's got 3 sharps. Be sure you can do the A major scale. It's in 6/8 time. It has a pickup beat. We're coming in on beat 6. Right hand first. Eighth note gets a count. Quarter note gets 2 counts. You know how it works? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That last measure, the first line, the dotted quarter note gets 3 counts. The quarter note gets 2. Tie them together, that's 5. 5. Well, there's 6 counts in the measure, so that makes sense. And then you're here. Now, fingering wise, you're in this position and you can stay here for the whole piece, that's okay. But in the second line, that means bringing the thumb down. If you don't want to do that, then on the first note of the second line, simply change and put third finger on the B. So the last note of the first line is second finger, and then the first note of the second line is third finger. We just changed hand positions. This way you can use second finger on the G sharp if you want to. And I'm sticking here. I'm not using fourth on those, third, because in the third measure of the second line, I gotta come back up to the E. And it's easier to reach E if I'm using third on those B's. So stay there, don't move around, because you're really in this position. So, second line. Then you can collapse. So make sure you can do all that. Third line, you've had all this. You're ending the third line here. So in the fourth line, they're saying second finger, and you're pretty much stuck with thumb. It's the end of a phrase at the end of the third line here. If you want to lift up and use the same finger, you can. Another way of doing it is to do what's known as a finger substitution. It's very common in piano. I use it a lot. And that is where you'll play a note with one finger, and then while you're holding it down, you put another finger on it. You substitute another finger for it. So at the last line, you can play the B with second and then immediately put third on it and hold it down. This way you're in position to use second. So the last measure of the third line is here. Going on, I could do this. And then reach up. Like so, if you want to. Now, if it doesn't bother you to use the thumb on the G sharp, then I encourage you to do that. It's a lot simpler. There are times when you'll have to do that. You don't have a choice. So, in the left hand, it's supporting the melodies in the other hand. So we got a 1 chord. The end of the first line is a 5/7 chord. And then in the third line down, we got the chords again, but now it's broken chord. And the 4 chord. If you don't want to do a thumb there, then you have to do a 5-3-2, but I encourage you to use this fingering if you can. The last line, 5/7 chord, just rolling the hand or transferring away from finger to finger. I'm not holding still and trying to push them down with the fingers. That doesn't work very well. Just transfer the weight from finger to finger. The wrist will do whatever it does. Don't worry about it. Just keep loose and it'll do it. Type thing. Just let it go. And the hands, play the rest in the left hand at the beginning. Rest, rest. Rest. So you can almost feel this in 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 throughout the whole thing. Dynamic wise, it starts out medium loud. That's the melody. You decide what that is. I don't know what it is, but you decide. And the third line down, it's medium soft. It's just a little softer. Not a lot, just a little softer. That means the left hand has to be even softer. last line that stays soft, and then there's a D C off Fini, takes you back to the beginning. The Fini's at the end of the second line. Now it says moderato for speed. Again, that's somewhere in the middle. You can think if you're singing it how fast. You have to decide on that. There is what I believe an error in the music. It could be wrong, but I think it's an error. You see at the beginning of the piece there is a pickup beat. One beat. That means there's got to be a measure somewhere else in the piece that's got 5 counts in it for the rest of the measure, because that beginning measure is the end of another measure. Normally it's the last, doesn't have to be, but normally it's the last measure in the piece. Well, if you look at the bottom, the last measure has 5 counts in it. That makes sense, that we're good to go. The problem is, if you look at the end of the second line, that measure also has 5 counts in it. And there is not another pickup measure anywhere. Now we're a beat short. So in my opinion, the last measure of the second line should have 6 counts in it. That should be 2 dotted quarter notes. So you'd hold it out for 6 counts total before you go on. If I only hold it for 5 and I go on, it feels like I'm not right. So to play the second line going into the third line the way it's written, it would be this way. It's like one beat short. I want to hold it out the full 6 counts. So 4, 5, 6. So in my opinion, that's an error. That should be 6 counts instead of 5. However, in the play with me, I'm going to try and play it exactly as it's written, 5 counts, and then go on. It'll sound weird, but that's what's written. If you're going to learn the piece and play it for people, I encourage you to put dots after those last 2 quarter notes and make that 6 counts in that measure. That's the last measure of the second line. I like to play it with you very slowly though, just to check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not doing dynamics. So I'm going to give us 5 counts. So let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5. 2, 5. 6. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat or to the top. 2, 5. 2, 5. 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2. 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2. 4, 5, off.